Sleep in a literary themed hotel. That's the best I got. Let's talk. Sometimes you just have to go with it.
But
Um, there you go. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Rob. This is my mom, Karen. And as I literally just said, we're going to talk about literary themed hotels today because why not, right? Um, so, obviously, it's been a while since a lot of us have gone out on vacation, but these places are still around. And I think, obviously, that we're a book themed video series. Figured it made sense to talk about them. So, what is a literary themed hotel? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. These hotels are focused on books, libraries, authors, and everything related to them. There are many over the world. We have a bunch in the US, there's a bunch overseas in different countries. And depending on where you are, it's going to focus on different people. So, obviously, in Europe, you're going to have more of the classical writers because that's who grew up there. In the US, you might have more people that are more American based because, American hotels. Um, I don't think I've ever been one. Have you? Did you, Dad, ever been to?
I haven't been to one. I actually have a colleague though who provides books to hotels, but
Oh, okay.
but they're not on shelves. Literally in the rooms, she provides best-selling books, and they're sitting there so that people, when they check into their hotel room, they have
Reading
something to
material.
read.
There you go.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Y'all need some reading material while you're on vacation, right? That's
Might
pretty
as
cool.
well. That's
Yeah, so a lot of these hotels are themed around that. And most of them, they've been around for a long time. Obviously, they're revamped as we go. So I guess we'll jump into the two that we found. So I decided to go East Coast and West Coast this time, and we're going to start in New York City, specifically Midtown Manhattan. This is known as the Library Hotel. The Library Hotel Collection is actually the website you're going to see at the bottom. And it's within walking distance to all of the big attractions in New York. So if you are happen to be around there, go check it out. And as you can tell, it's themed to look like, I guess, more of a library, right? So this is
Mhm.
something that I think would be more for somebody who's not necessarily into an author per se, but somebody who may want just a general feel of it. The lounges are full of bookshelves. You have couches, you have chairs. It's actually funny because one of the things I did in my bookstore prior to having to shut down, that's what we did. We had a lot of that cozy feeling. I
Right.
think that's kind of what a library is, right? A library is a place you go to just sit. If you're allowed to bring in your tea, you can
Right.
have your tea while
Right.
you read.
Right.
So what do you think? For me, I like one that's more maybe themed to somebody, but I think if you're just looking for a place to relax,
Right.
what do you think? What's
I
your
think
thought on
it's
a
kind of
library?
cool. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, if you vacation the way I vacation, meaning if I'm going to go somewhere on vacation, I don't want to have to go do something. I would
Right.
rather just sit and vegetate. And how wonderful would it be to sit and vegetate with a bunch of books that are in there that just strike my fancy? I love this. I would actually look for one to go to.
So they actually call it their Dewey Decimal Classification Concept. Say that 5 times fast. There are 10 guest room floors, and each of them have 10 categories of the Dewey Decimal System.
Hmm.
And there are 60 rooms that are adorned with various books and artwork themes. So they really took this library thing all the way through
Yeah.
to the point of even using that. You have levels like social sciences, languages, math and science, technology, and the arts. And then, of course, you have the literature floor for people
Right.
like myself who wants literature. But it's kind of cool. They literally, it's not just fiction. They just took every genre in the world, and that's your floor.
I love that.
That's
It,
your
it it does prove there's something for everyone, right? I mean, if there's a desire, somebody's going to put something together for you. So I think this is really cool. Really cool.
And it literally breaks it down. Like in social science, you have the law suite, you have the money suite.
Mm.
In languages, you have ancient language, you have Middle Eastern language, you have
Mhm.
Asian language. So they literally broke down everything that you could study in a library.
Right.
You're right. This is actually, I'm now rethinking what I said a minute ago. This is actually really, really cool.
It
Um,
is. I
I don't
love
know what I
it.
would pick. I mean, I'd probably pick a literature floor. We have fairy tales, we have classic fiction, um, but there's a lot of stuff on here. If you guys check it out, like we put the link up earlier, if you check it out, you know you're in the area. Um, yeah, I don't know. We might have to take a visit to
I think so. But if we don't
library.
want to go so far, I know that there actually is one closer to us.
That is true. So good segue there. So for those of you on the Pacific Coast over here, we have the Sylvia Beach Hotel. Now this one's more up my alley. This one is themed to authors. They call it sleeping with the authors, basically, because you are going to be engulfed in these people. So you have two choices. You have the classics, which is more just general author type. You have the
Hmm.
Agatha Christie, which
Hmm.
we've talked about her before. We're a fan of her.
Hmm.
We have the Mark Twain, and each of them signify more of the area they lived in. So
Right.
the Agatha Christie is very old English Victorian setting. The Mark Twain is very Southern U.S. right because that was where they grew up. We have people like Amy Tan, more of a new author, and in hers we have a lot of Asian-inspired visuals. We have blossoms on the
Right.
wall. We have bamboo, imitation bamboo on the ceiling. You have people like Steinbeck. You have people like Hemingway that we've talked about before. Dickinson. My favorite would be the Dr. Seuss
I
room.
was going
I
to say they
want to
even
see
have that.
what's
That's
in
cool.
his room
That's right.
because man, oh, actually, I'm looking at it right now. It literally looks like a child's bedroom, but it's so cool. You have thing one and thing two stuffed animals on the
Oh,
bed.
oh my God.
So, guys, this is like what you would do if you want to be the author, right?
But the other thing that they do is they really, really want to make sure that you unplug, right? They really encourage you not to have your mobile phones on. In fact, I don't think there's actually televisions, right? Or anything.
So what they do is everything based, I guess, activity wise, is around books. They have shelves in your a room, kind of like you're saying how your colleague does, of just books, and that's your entertainment. It's an entire bookshelf of these people's
Right.
works and whatnot. If you go into the novel rooms, you have people like Shakespeare, Jules Verne, Tolkien, even and all of these people you're engulfed in it. But I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things that they really promote is when you come here, we want you to be like the authors that lived. And
Mhm.
some of these authors, yeah, they're from newer times. Obviously, they had electronics, but they
Right.
want you to feel like all you're doing.
Right. Get immersed. Immerse yourself in the
Exactly.
experience. Absolutely. Which I
And what's
love.
nice about these is depending on what you pick, the classics face the ocean, so you get the Pacific Coast ocean view. If you don't want that though, you can actually get the garden view in the novel rooms, and they have a beautiful garden outside. And basically, you're welcome to bring your stuff down to the garden, out to the beach, all that stuff. Um, so this, for me, I think is more up my alley because it really signifies the people behind the story.
So would you say that it has a much bigger impact on the guests that stay there? At a Sylvia Beach Hotel, maybe other than another one? Do you connect more with the author's work by being immersed in something like this?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's no phones, there's no TV, I don't think there's even Wi-Fi according to the website here.
Yeah.
So in this type of hotel, the Sylvia Beach, you really are forced to enjoy literature as it should be. So I think if you're looking, kind of like you said, to kind of just unwind and not
Yeah.
do anything,
Unplug, yeah.
this is your cup of tea. This is up your alley. You're basically just taking a book, taking your tea.
So do you think these library theme hotels actually enhance the travel experience for those who are literary buffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're someone like you or I, or those who we know who are into reading, I think it definitely would be a plus to
Yeah.
your travel experience. Obviously, you're not always going to find them, so you have to look. But I think if you come across a hotel or a B&B or such that is themed to reading or literature, yeah, I think you're going to want to put it on your stop
Right.
to at least spend a few nights there and enjoy the meaning of
Right.
being there. So yeah, I think it's great. I think this stuff is awesome.
I do too. I do too. And if you're just not ready to go out and I'm going to get rid of this caption right now. If you're not ready, quite ready to go out and visit either one of these hotels, but you want to immerse yourself in more and more books, check out the Next Chapter Bookstore.shop. It is, I think I'm probably, have an opinion about this, but it's one of the best used bookstores out there. Great values. I do believe, Rob, you have some horror books in there and science fiction and
Yep.
fantasy. Take your camera out, scan the paperback and hardbound on the left-hand side. It will take you right into that department. If you're into comic books, I am. Why don't you go ahead and scan the one in the middle, and that will take you right into comic books. And finally, certainly, last but not least, is the merchandise. And I'm sure you noticed when you first checked in here that Rob was wearing a T-shirt from the store. Make sure you check that out. So many fun things, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
I think we need to like plan a trip.
Do a show from the literary hotel.
Absolutely. I think well maybe Oregon's first. It's closer. Maybe we should do that.
There you go.
Guys, go out, give somebody an amazing day, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.